Hey, ChrisFit, home of the misfits. We ain't like them, we different. You should know the rest. This is gonna be a little bit of a different video. One of the things that I know people struggle with is meal prep and how to eat for muscle growth, or even eat for fat loss, you know? So I figured what I would do is kind of take you guys into my world and show you how I handle that. So I just pulled up to the store. I'm gonna meal prep for this week coming up. I'm gonna do a burger bowl, so like a bowl with some sweet potatoes, seasoned ground turkey, lettuce, tomatoes, some chipotle aioli, and some cheese. Just no bun, obviously. Burger bowl. All right. Well, for the burger bowl, definitely gonna need some lettuce. I typically like to go with a spring mix, something like that. Definitely don't want to go too big. All right, next thing I'm gonna need is, I've already got onions, probably gonna need some peppers, so let me go ahead and grab that. I like to do the tri-colored peppers, orange, yellow, red. Let's see, what else do I need? I've got peppers, I've already got onions. I'm gonna need some tomatoes. Now, I'm probably gonna do some grape tomatoes, because I like fresh tomatoes. I gotta get the meat. Well, I gotta get ground turkey, 5 pounds of it, bro. So let's go ahead and do that now. Got a 93.7 here. That's 3 pounds. I need 2 more pounds. So let's do another 93, 2 more 93.7s. All right, that's our meat. Now, I need to pick up the sauces. I've got to get some chipotle aioli. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get the chipotle aioli, which is the part of the meal that isn't actually healthy. But hey, man, everything can't be healthy, right? All right, now it's time to go get the yogurt, the Greek yogurt, which I eat a lot for protein. First thing I get, one of my favorite yogurts, is this ratio yogurt. Got 25 grams of protein, right? With 170 calories. So I get a few of these. I'm gonna do about 4 of those. I'm gonna do another 4 blueberry. Switching it up, having something different. I also go with the Oikos 20 gram protein yogurt, 140 calories. This is also a really good choice too. Now I'll show you the drinkable yogurt that I get. I do these, the Chobani 20 grams. So I buy a few of these. 4, 6, 8. And I got more at the crib. But if you don't want those, these are also a good option too. The Oikos drinkable, 23 grams, 140 calories. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty much everything. But on one tip, I do need some more deodorant. So let me go ahead and grab my deo. Y'all don't need to see what deodorant I use, okay? But on a crazy tip though, when I'm not eating healthy, let me show you what some of my favorite shit is, bro. These right here are literally like my kryptonite. These right here, bro, and these right here, bro, really the mythical creatures. Like, it's taking everything in me not to put this in the cart right now. I love these. I'll bust a whole bag of these. But that's why I need to get out of here, because I don't need it. But yeah, so we got everything. This is what our cart is looking like. So let's go ahead, pay for everything, and get out of here. So that's the trip, man. We got everything we needed. Spent about $150, but we got everything we needed. All right, so it's now Sunday morning. I told you guys I would bring you into the process of how we actually meal prep, how I set up for the week. So that's what we're getting ready to do right now. Again, we got the burger bowl, put everything together. Be all ready set for the whole week. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, obviously, you have to go ahead and skin your potatoes. I don't know anybody who really likes skin on their potatoes, so we'll go ahead and remove that. Look at that. She did a wonderful job, my girl. I mean, there's pretty much no skin left on that potato. Next we're going to go ahead, clean up the scraps because we got to keep the kitchen clean. So we'll move on to actually chopping the potatoes. And I mean, you can definitely do this by hand, but if you're about convenience like me, you'll just go ahead and grab a vegetable chopper. Go ahead and apply that force, chop those potatoes, And once you do it enough, you just put the potato in there, you chop it up, and you come out with something that looks like that. Look at those perfectly cubed potatoes. Man, that looks great. So next, you got to go ahead and put the potatoes in the oven. So we got 2 cookie sheets, and we're just going to fill the cookie sheets up with the potatoes. You got to spread the potatoes out so when you go to season them, the seasoning will be applied evenly. So we're just going to go ahead and fill up the second cookie sheet, spreading everything out, make it look all nice. Yeah, now we move on to the seasoning. We'll keep it simple, a little bit of salt. Got to make sure you put enough salt on there. I don't like bland potatoes. Then we move on to the pepper, add a little spice, Got to make sure that it tastes amazing. So put the pepper on there. After that, we'll go ahead, throw those potatoes in the oven. Yes, we'll let those go for about 45 minutes. Snap our fingers, and they're coming out. So we'll go ahead and sit those aside. We'll come back to those later. I'm sure they taste perfect. Actually, I know because I already had them. So now I get my chef on, right? I'm going to cook up 5 pounds of meat, ground turkey, 93% lean. We want to keep the dish as lean as possible, eliminate as much calories as possible. We want it to be a balanced meal. So we get that meat in there, get the cooking. Chefing, I do my thing till the meat is brown. Obviously, we're going to drain it. Once it's drained, we'll move on to seasoning it. And I love the adobo Goya all-purpose seasoning. Man, it's so good. And I'm really big on flavor, so I use a lot of seasoning. But there's no salt, so we're not getting high blood pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up everything, Finish cooking the meat here. And after that, we're going to go ahead and move on to actually setting the containers out so we can start to fill them up. As you can see, we go through a lot of containers in a week. And now we'll actually assemble the dish, starting with the potatoes. We use about a 3/4 cup of potatoes per dish. That's our sweet spot. You can use a cup if you want to. But yeah, so we start with our potatoes, fill up every dish. Make sure we got it looking nice and everything like that. Now we have our potatoes. We'll go ahead and move on to our meat. I use about a cup of meat per dish. That's 44 grams of protein. So you can already see this is going to be a low calorie meal, but it's going to be high in protein. So drop the meat off in the container. Then I move on to my peppers and onions. I love peppers and onions. And I like mine raw. I don't like them cooked, but go ahead, drop them off in a dish. Adds a nice little flavor, and it makes it look nice too, nice and colorful. Now you gotta have cheese. I love cheese. 1/3 cup of cheese. Depending on what kind of cheese you use, that's like 7 to 10 extra grams of protein. It's amazing. I love cheese, man. Drop that off in there, 1/3 cup. Look at that. We're really getting through. So next, we will take a look at that. Man, that looks amazing. Yeah, we'll just take a little look at the dish. That's what we're working with so far. Doesn't that look good? I want to go ahead and talk about some of the things that we didn't do. So there's tomatoes on this dish. There's lettuce, but all the cold ingredients are packed separately so you can actually warm the dish up. So we stack everything up, put it in the fridge, and
That's how we meal prep. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you really did enjoy it, go ahead and give it a like. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. ChrisFit, home of the misfits. You already know how it goes. You already know how we rocking. I'm coming every week. I ain't stopping. Tell the haters get down. They ain't got no option. All right, mate. I'll take it easy. Peace.